Welcome to episode 23. Last episode, the Great Mediterranean War has started and is near its end. Now, currently, with the capture of Rome's capital, a peace treaty happens. According to the peace treaty, since the Hungarians left the Greek sphere, the um, the Bulgarians get Bosnia as a reward, or just staying within its sphere of influence. The Greeks also take over all of the south and all of South Italy. Along with that, the Dalmatian Empire is revived. And it has not sat very well for its Greek vassal state subject. It pays tribute and helps Greece in every political situation. The other part of the peace treaty is basically the Iberic Empire getting Sardinia and Corsica, and the city. With this, the war will still continue, but the Greeks are in a way more defendable position, but that doesn't change anything as Orange Team troops quickly to move in. With Yellow Team, they defeated this isthmus, I think this is called the isthmus. Isthmus. And start moving and move into the Greek capital. The capital of the Greeks after that, the Greeks also decide to surrender, and the peace treaty will be very bad. Firstly, the Orange Team gains land, all of their occupied land, and these lands from the Yellow Team. The Yellow Team gains all the rest of their occupied land. And also they also betrayed the treaty with the Roman Empire and forced the border to be a lot more south. The war would cause severe amounts of instability in Greece, as the capital is relocated, even more restrained in Epirus. While in the east, the rivalry between the Koreans and the Chinese leads to one war. The war would be over the city, which was historically Korean, but China views it as in its region and wants to control it, or at least vassalize it / suffocate it. So the Chinese start moving troops up north. The Koreans can't do a lot as they are more of a trade-based empire, but they ask one country to do that being the Mongolian country. The Mongolian country is very good at war and invades China, which is pretty good at both economics and war, but but Korea is very based on trade, and China and this Mongol and lower Mongol and inner Mongolia is way more based on trade and expansion. It's an it's an mirror for the Chinese. Its culture is pretty similar to the Chinese will expect for the horse lords that they have great relations with the Mongolian Empire and start moving into China. The Chinese are forced to relocate troops, allowing the small Korean military to gain this amount of land. But they do dominate navally, but this is where the war kind of stalemates as the Chinese decide to strike back and are really successful, taking back two major cities and then another one, and finally there will be a battle here which would end in a Chinese victory, causing Korea to capitulate, and really capitulate but surrender, as the Chinese had achieved their war goal in the next land. The Chinese move more eastward against Outer Mongolia, but the Outer Mongolians strike back, fortifying their positions. And of course, Outer Mongol, and of course, eventually the Outer Mongolians decide, right, right, to straight up expand and demand these territories after a brutal battle, which ended in Outer Mongolian victory. The war was basically just Outer Mongolia cementing itself as a rival to the other countries. But all would change with the discovery of Java. Java, yeah. The island is quickly colonized and some very rare spices are found there. I think you can guess where the spices come from. This would cause a massive surge, with Ethiopians launching colonies there. Uh, Same with the Indians. I'm sorry, Bangals. Same with Bengal, colonizing this area. And shockingly, Cambodia. The Cambodians also launched a settling party here, centralizing control over the central islands, expanding up north, and causing the formation of the Cambodian Empire, with mainly they would also settle in Brunei for better communication within these areas. Now in the east, there would be lots of differences, as with the Greeks massively humiliated, the Thracians just don't want to be in Greece's alliance, with the Greek alliance becoming of only Greek descendants, alliance for only Greek descendant states. Dalmatia, after being restored, in fact, is now a puppet of the Greeks, which have moved their capital to Epirus, into the old Epirus capital. This would be this wouldn't be very good. But we also move to Africa. That was kind of racist, so for that. where the Ugandan Confederation spreads and discovers the Great Congo River. It takes a lot of time to discover that this exploration and colonization mission is going on for decades due to how not good of an terrain this is for colonization. But the Congo River changes everything as Ugandan forces move into Kenya. The same happens in Kenya, and they are one of, if not the first sub-Saharan African civilization. They are the first sub-Saharan African civilization, but there would be some discoveries as some Iberic explorers would discover to conquer northern areas. Morocco. This also includes the settlement of the Azores and then moving southward, which would then eventually end up into creating some bases for exploration. And they would mainly be fascinated by its natural wealth, especially with the kind of Mount Mount Cameroon. So they would ask the Iberic Empire to send to send some ships there and to colonize both the Canaries and this area near Cameroon, which is viewed as kind of holy by the Iberics due to Mount Cameroon. The Middle Ugandan Empire, due to its instability, is formed and is mainly a military dictatorship. Massive amounts of population spread everywhere. This will and some tribes and explorations discover this comic contact with, of course, the Iberic Empire. The Iberic Empire's first contact with the African Kingdom, the Ugandan Empire, is pretty weird as they tell them stories about Mount Cameroon, and both cultures now view it as a volcano. Now let's move to Britain. The Germanic Confederation, in order to compete in the colonization of England, would actually do way better than the French could ever do, as they start colonizing the North Sea coast of the British Isles, and while the French colonized Ireland and the areas near it. While in Scandinavia, due to its rich copper mines, so there will be some expeditions there, but copper wasn't really viewed as that important by this point, so as the start of the Iron Age. So Scandinavia is pretty ignored, but that's it. That's with the video. No, not the video. We still have 1 minute left, so we're going to cover another scene. What would happen? First, the exploration of Russia. What did you expect? Russia is going to be explored. Okay, the wrong color. So the Volgan country, which is descended from a Russian migratory tribe, would move up north to them having some pretty petty enemies up there with petty lords being forced into exile. And with that, I'll end the video. Goodbye.